Going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about some Mullen. We know they had an interview. Let's look at the charts. Let's look at the ortex. I'm recording this early because it's Friday. I'm done trading and I'm going to do it so that I can enjoy my Friday. All right, let's see. So what I wanted to look at was these interviews that he's doing. Usually a little bit helpful, right, to get us into the mindset of what's going on behind the scenes, what maybe we don't know, what we've been speculating on. And I will condense this 25-minute interview for you down to just 5 minutes or less if you want to stick around for that part. So we're going to go through that. That'll be the first 4 to 5 minutes of the video. If you don't care about the interview or any commentary on that part, then go ahead and skip ahead. But let's get into the information. So what are we looking at? Well, let's listen in here and just get started with the interview. A little bit of a 30-second, 40-second clip.
Next level technology.
Are you guys taking orders right now? Are you letting anybody put any down payment money on that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have been, and we continue to. We've noticed that the orders have spiked tremendously. As an example, during the events, we'll have maybe 35, 40, 50 people, but these people will go out and they'll tweet, they'll share their experience at the show with their followers or within their social media platforms.
Absolutely.
And then we'll see a residual effect in the form of increased demand for the product. It's been very consistent.
How much is the down payment?
Well, it's a reservation. It's $100.
Okay, so talking about strikingly different, what kind of impact it's having, what the reservation price is to be able to order that car. We see that it's not real expensive to be able to be put on that list as of right now, but hey, it's something. So we're getting a little bit of feedback from the CEO on the strikingly different.
Okay. What it does is buys you a spot in that vehicle. We really believe that this thing is going to catch on fire now that people can touch it, feel it, see it. We're also excited too because the derivative version of it, which is the Mullen 5 RS, that version is going to hit. We'll have it here in our possession next month, but it'll join the show in March, and that car's a beast. I mean, it's just a 0 to 60 in 1.95 seconds. Yeah, and it'll go over 200 miles an hour. See, a lot of people, when they talk about that they can go 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, they don't tell you what their top speed is.
Right.
So I don't know why you guys are needing to go over 200 miles an hour, but it sounds like we have that ability to be able to do it if you want to. And you can accelerate quickly. So if you are a degen in real life, not just in the stock market, maybe you need that quick acceleration, and you also need to be able to go over 200 miles an hour. Now, I don't think I've ever been 200 miles an hour in a car. I hit 120, I think, one time. I had a Mustang, and I just wanted to try it out, and I got a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was on a country road and there was nobody in sight. I figured it was safe for everybody but me. Bad idea. So yeah, 200, I have no idea. Take it to the drag strip if you want to try that kind of speed. All right, let's continue on.
That vehicle, I would say somewhere right around 10%.
Gotcha. And those revenues are going to start falling on the first quarter of next year, correct? Because you guys are going to roll this out.
So I think this is in regards to Delpac deal.
Out in December, I heard.
Yeah, that's correct. We're actually preparing to deliver the first vehicles to Newgate now. So, things are happening now.
Newgate. But what I did like was last time he did this interview and he used the term now, he obviously knew something was going on, and then we got that news about a day or two later. So that was kind of interesting to me to hear that he's using the term now again in this interview. So maybe we'll get a little bit of news. Might be today, might be Monday, Tuesday, or maybe we won't get anything at all. But I did like that he's saying now. So let's see what that does. Here, let's see what we got.
I believe we're at somewhere just under $100 million without cure payments.
So ELMS acquisition, they were asking basically, what it costs them. We've seen in the news somewhere around 140. I don't think he knows the exact numbers, but he's insinuating that somewhere in the 100 to give or take 120 range.
To the suppliers, I think collectively with cure payments, we're somewhere right around 120 million plus. So that's an approximation of where we would be. It was supposed to close yesterday, and we were given an extension due to the title insurance. The title company would not provide title insurance without a land survey, and so right now I know that they're doing all of the necessary entitlements in order to affect the close. We're prepared and ready to go. We have the cash on hand to close. It's now just with escrow and with title. Once the title insurance is issued, we'll close. We anticipate closing in the next 5 to 10 days.
Awesome.
So I sell real estate. You can close a deal without a survey. Title company doesn't care. I don't sell real estate in Indiana. Maybe they do care, but somebody should have known that if that's a requirement in Indiana. I mean, I'm sure you got a realtor on the seller side. You got a realtor on the buyer side. These people have to have smart attorneys that are involved, and nobody knows you have to have a survey in Indiana to get it a close so that you can have title insurance. I don't know. Sounds stupid. Sounds really stupid. But whatever. It doesn't take long to get a survey. So let's see if they officially close after they get their survey. That's where we are right there.
Your stock right now is currently under $1. You guys are on the NASDAQ. Last time it was above $1. It was July of this year. That being said, what are your thoughts of getting this above $1?
Well, fundamentals. Simple answer, right? Get out there and deliver, and we're doing that. People were skeptical about our ability to show them a product. We showed them, a product at the LA Auto Show, and then we showed them a drivable vehicle, a demonstrator, and we specifically focused on our technology because that's what makes
fundamentals. Fundamentals can carry you somewhere, but we gotta wipe out all of this dilution that's going on. I'm not gonna give that up. You can't have a 5 billion float. You can't be throwing out talks of reverse splits. You can't be fearing your investors. If you want to get over $1, your fundamentals, I mean, if you want to drag this on for 5, 10, 15 years and, screw all of the early investors, possibly, but I don't know. I'm not putting too much weight in that one, guys. It is what it is. I'm just being, I guess, cautious as to what we're actually doing right now. So, we'll see what they do. We got a little bit of time before that vote comes in. I won't get too bearish on you right now.
Retired to the B-1 bomber.
Right.
How about the H-1 retired to the B-1?
I love it. You got so many moving parts going on. I do think you're one of the hardest working CEOs on the NASDAQ. That being
debatable
said, where do you plan on assembling all these vehicles and models?
Well, you're going to love this. Part of the ELMS transaction was us being able to purchase that Mishawaka, Indiana facility. Ironically, that's where General Motors produced the Hummer. At that exact facility. And ironically, the platform and all the equipment is geared for that Class 3 vehicle. Wouldn't that be nice if Mullen could actually acquire that facility, take the B1, you can paint the body on whites in there, into the very...
So this guy loves the Hummer. You know what? I went through a phase in life where I really wanted a Hummer, and I was searching Craigslist all the time. I'm like, man, I'm going to find me a Hummer. I never bought the Hummer. Thankfully, probably, because now I think you might be having difficulties finding parts for them. But it was a cool car. It was a cool concept, and it had a very large following at the time. And maybe if they bring that back, it could be, something that develops a very large following again. One of the worst things about the Hummer was the cost of gas. I would say your fuel mileage was terrible. So if they are able to roll out something similar that's not going to break the bank, just taking it to the grocery store and back, maybe they have something. And I like the idea because I think a lot of people like that style car. I think there was a huge demand for it at one time, and I don't know. Maybe he can bring that back to life.
Get it to the consumers, and the amount of money we saved and the amount of time is amazing. Our normal.
So with the ELMS acquisition, this is something we've already speculated on, is how long it takes to build a facility, to get those permits, to be able to get your contractors in place, to break ground, to get it all up and running. They're talking about how much time savings and money savings really went on there.
I'll leave you with this if we got a minute.
Absolutely.
Our normal plan called for us to spend almost $1.3 billion to ramp up our Tunica, Mississippi facility, enabling it to be able to produce the Mullen 5 SUV. That would mean we were adding about 1 million square feet. And that would include obviously a body shop, paint shop, all the things you would need to go into high volume production. So think about this. For a little over $100 million, not only did we get all the assets, IP, but more importantly, we got a factory that we could not duplicate for less than $1 billion.
Okay, so that's big, right? That's big money. So you got a very nice steal on everything that you needed to move forward. Why do you need 5 billion shares? Simple question. Let me ask it to you guys. Reason on it. Think on it. Don't just rip my head off. Why? That's my question to you, is why? Why right now do they need that? So if we got a steal on everything that we need to be productive, they have the cash on hand, let's make some stinking vehicles.
Move that paint shop to Mexico. Dorr told them to move that paint shop to Mexico would be $500 million.
Wow.
And so I know that there's well over $1 billion of value there, just in that factory alone. So from my perspective, forget about the savings, not having to spend $1 billion to get to start a production. But not just start a production on one line of vehicles. You have the B1, B2, Mullen 5, and 5RS. I plan on building those vehicles in Mishawaka in a high volume capacity. I accelerate my path to start a production by 2 years, meaning I'm able to not have to wait, the 3 to 4 years to build a factory.
Right.
And I don't care what anybody says, you have to go out and get.
So yeah, exactly. He's on his path to production. That's great. Why don't they postpone that vote? Why don't they just push it off a little bit and let's see what happens? If they are so confident that they are on their way, if everything is in place and everything's looking good and they're negotiating deals right now, push the vote off. You don't need to do it right before the end of the year. My take, my feelings, my channel is what it is. Mullen short interest going up a little bit again today. 35.26% live short interest. Percent of the free float live short interest to 113.84 million. Keep in mind, guys, the percentage could be off. Our float is off according to most of the estimates, so keep that in mind. But I think our estimated shares could be correct. I do think it's probably highly shorted. I just don't know if all of these numbers are correct, and they are estimated, so it is what it is. I told you I have a plan. There's me today. I hope I found a bottom. I don't know. We'll find out. What do we got looking like on the charts? Okay, so I did move my trend line. There's always a trend. We just have to find it. Right now, it's extending us out. Consolidation's going to keep on going. So the longer the consolidation goes on, the longer this trend is going to extend. We're going to watch and see if this gets tighter and tighter coiled. And when the spring wants to break, and whenever it does want to break, what way is it going to break? Is it going to break up? Is it going to break down? I don't know. What way is money going to push it? What we can do is we can look at the RSI. I'm a big RSI guy, and you guys probably know that by now. So if you're looking at the RSI, you're watching it on your charts, what are you seeing? Well, right there, you should be able to see exactly what I'm seeing. You're seeing lower highs, right? So what do we ultimately need to do? We need to see a curl. This is the 30-minute chart. The buying pressure is literally just doing what it has to do to absorb the supply. It's not pushing. It's not even trying to push. It's just coasting, like eating up the supply, which is why I think there's still a trade here as long as they can eat up that supply long enough. I don't know, right? Somebody's going to get tired. Somebody's going to get tired one way or the other. But as of right now, the RSI is telling us that there is absolutely no pushing going on. There hasn't been any pushing going on since back here in the end of October, the last day of October. Ever since then, it's just been eat up the supply, eat up the supply, eat up the supply. So how long are we going to do that? That's what we are waiting to see. With the RSI coming down, what does that mean for you? It means we could very well drop out of this trend line. It doesn't have to hold up. So far, it's holding up okay. I don't know. We literally just have to watch. But I mean, look at the selling candles, these white candles. We can see the pressure trying to just keep it down below the MAs. They don't want it to get out of hand. We're getting some heavy selling, and the buying's just kind of matching it, but you know, it just relaxes. Right here, low volume, the buyers could push this thing if they wanted to, and that's why I'm telling you, I think we are in a very strong accumulation phase, and I just don't know how long it's going to go on and if they can keep up. But they're not trying to push, they're just matching the sells. They're just literally matching it. Like, you want to sell into me at this lower price, that's fine, I'll eat it up. You want to sell into me at this lower price, that's fine, I'll eat it up. But we're not getting that strong push in the other direction. So accumulation, it's going to take however long they want to accumulate, and I really want to see that move before any kind of votes happen. So I'm still here, I'm still talking about it, we're still covering it. Just have a trading plan. That's all I can tell you. If you started with the channel, you're at 22.5. Have a trading plan. We're at 26.65. So that's where we are, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you're safe. I want to see you all come back on Monday. If there's anything new that comes into my head, we'll talk about it over the weekend. Otherwise, I will catch you on Monday. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.